Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has been widely criticized by civil rights groups for passing several laws and policies that undermine the rights and safety of Black travelers and other marginalized communities. Here are some of the most controversial ones. In April 2023, DeSantis signed a bill that banned transgender girls and women from participating in school sports teams that match their gender identity. The bill also allows schools to require a genital examination of any student-athlete who is suspected of being transgender. This law violates the privacy and dignity of transgender students and puts them at risk of harassment and discrimination. In May 2023, DeSantis signed a package of 5 bills that further eroded the rights of LGBTQ people in Florida. The bills included a ban on diversity, equity and inclusion programs in public schools and colleges, a prohibition on certain forms of instruction on race and gender, a requirement for parental consent for minors to access gender-affirming health care, a restriction on local governments from passing anti-discrimination ordinances, and a repeal of an existing law that protected LGBTQ people from conversion therapy. In June 2023, DeSantis signed a bill that eliminated unanimous jury decisions for the death penalty, making Florida the state with the lowest threshold for administering capital punishment. The bill also reduced the number of jurors required for a death sentence from 12 to this law disproportionately affects Black defendants, who are more likely to be sentenced to death than white defendants, especially when the victim is white. In July 2023, DeSantis signed a bill that criminalized protests that block traffic or cause property damage. The bill also granted civil immunity to drivers who injure or kill protesters with their vehicles, and allowed the state to withhold funds from local governments that reduce their police budgets. This law undermines the right to free speech and assembly, and targets Black Lives Matter activists and other social justice movements. In August 2023, DeSantis signed a bill that restricted voting rights in Florida by limiting mail-in ballots, drop boxes, early voting hours, and voter registration drives. The bill also expanded the power of partisan poll watchers and increased penalties for voting violations. This law makes it harder for Black voters and other people of color to cast their ballots and have their voices heard in elections.